and then come to the support at we are going to support it at I end. Okay, you can see options here, I and J end. Okay, so which end you want to apply the support? So we want to apply it to the I end. So you select this and then select pin support and then click on updates. So if you click on update, you can see a pin support here. All right, see a pin support here. You click on the close options. All right, come over to this other side, select this, also the property of it, and then we go to 3D tab right there, I end as well. Click on the pin support, click on updates to have this. So we have actually supported this, okay, with the pin support, which resists the vertical and horizontal forces and not movement. It is only the pin, it's only the fixed support, the support at the foundations, okay, that resists both vertical forces, horizontal forces, and as well as movement. All right, so click on. Hello friends, welcome back to the steel warehouse modeling, analysis and design. This is the second lesson, and so we are going to be continue from where we have stopped in the previous lesson. Mind you, this is what we are aiming at: modeling, analysis and design, including the foundation successfully. All right, and so if you are not in the previous lesson, you can check the link in the upper left corner of this window, and then you will see the link to follow the first lesson, so you can follow properly in the second lesson. And as well, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to actually know the nitty-gritty of Protastructure. This is Protastructure 2022. We have an ongoing training program. You can join that or contact me using the link in the description of this video. All right, so let us get started in part 2 of the modeling of the steel warehouse. So we want to make progress by fixing the braces. Okay, so we'll be having braces between these two columns. We have it over here, and also the braces that we have to brace the trusses as well. So we will navigate to the modeling tab right there, and then look at brace. Yeah, you can see this one. So just click on it once. After you click on it once, pick the first columns and the second columns in between it. You have to fix the brace. You can see it just like this. Okay, so you can see this brace is taken from the top of the column to the bottom of the columns, which is not like that. So I will come to this provision where I have count. The count now is 1, so I'm having up to 3 stories. All right, and so I want to count it to be 3. So once I key in 3 here, and I click elsewhere, you can see the changes here. All right, it has divided the braces into 3 provisions. Okay, so this is what I actually expected. All right, after which the next thing is the braces property. All right, we have to change the braces property. Okay, so for us to change the braces property, we need to get all the braces selected. For now, the profile of the braces is an equal angle 80 by 80 by 8 millimeter. All right, so we will change it to a circular hollow sections. All right, so we click in these provisions of this profile, and then we get here. Mind you, we are considering the Aerocode's template. Okay, so we use the Aerocode steel material. All right, so we come to Turbo D, this one, click right there. Okay, so we have to navigate to use this. We will be using 108, okay, by 3.6. all right, or we can also use this one, 101.6 by 5 thickness of the circular hollow sections, these sections. All right, click on the select options, and then you click on the OK options. So if you notice that it is only this one that changes. All right, it's only this one that changes because it is only the count 1 that we are working on. Okay, so I want to be making the changes to this and this at once, and for you to do that, you have to select count 2 and then hold the control key and select count 3. All right, so I've selected these 2 together, so I want to be changing the profile of the 2. So I will select it right there and go straight away to Turbo D, and then I'll navigate to 101.6 by 5 thickness of the hollow steel sections. Click on the select options and then OK. So you will notice that both is now being changed successfully. Another thing we want to be doing right away is, if you check very well, you will notice that this upper end of the braces is actually being embedded in the beam. All right, so we want to shift it so that it will be at the column side, okay, for proper connections. All right, so for us to do that effectively, and we want to be implementing that to other braces that we have right there. So I will get this one count 1 selected, hold the control key, select count 2 and select count 3 as well, so that all of that will be selected just like this. Okay, so after which we will come to where we have the property of the frame 1. All right, in the I end Y offset, we will be having 300 right there, and then if you click outside right there, you can see the difference we are having there. The same thing will be applicable here because we have already selected the whole of the braces right there. Okay, so now if you zoom closely, you can see an analytical line. This is an analytical line. So as I've shifted this now, I've shifted it away from the analytical line, so we have to, you know, actually apply this end to analysis so that analysis can be carried out on these braces effectively. All right, so for us to do that, if you come over here where my cursor is, you can see a red one in here said I end must be applied to analysis. Okay, so over here you can see I end offset here, so you check these provisions to apply to analysis. See, the analytical line is no longer showing. All right, so that is how to resolve that issue. All right, so we go straight away to the frame property, the property of frame 2. Also in the I end Y offset, we will be having also 300 millimeters. Okay, 300 millimeters, so as to move it just like this. Okay, so after which you check very well, everything is very nice just like this. So this is the braces, and this is what we actually expected. We really want to make changes to the J and Y offsets. Okay, so we are okay by this. Click on the OK options right now to have it placed just like this. So this is our braces successfully. So this braces now we are going to be also applying it to this other end. So having the braces selected over here, okay, in the steel member panel. All right, if you check this one, click this other one to have the braces, the same property. We don't need to edit it again. We just have to click on the OK options to have that inserted. So the same thing we are going to be applying in these provisions just like this. Okay, so everything is fine. Click on the OK options right here. All right, but I want to explain something to us. You can't actually change the brace type if you come to these provisions. All right, if I should select the count 1 and then hold the control key, select up to count 3 right there. Okay, so I can change the brace type right there to maybe V. So if you change it to V, this is what you will having. All right, you can also change it to K, and then you'll be having something of this kind. But for the sake of this lesson, we'll be considering this is diagonal type of brace. Okay, so we consider X brace just like this. Okay, I just want to show you that. All right, so after which we have to just click on the OK options to have the braces right there just like this. Okay, all right, so we make progress. All right, and then we have to place it in this other provisions just like this. Click on the OK option to have the braces just like that. All right, so after we must have gotten all of this just like this, what we have to do, we need to brace the trusses as well. We need to brace these trusses as well. So what we need to do is select the first truss, select the second truss just like this, and then you will be having a braces of this kind. Okay, so just like this, both bottom and top, but we don't need the bottom braces. It's only the top braces we are going to be considering. So for us to get rid of this top the bottom braces that connected the bottom cord of the truss, okay, we have to come to where we have bottom 1 right there, and then these provisions count 1, we make it 0. All right, if you make that 0, you see it's been removed successfully. Once again, I would like us to give the lesson a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you like what we're doing on this channel, subscribe to the channel, and then stay tuned as we make progress into this lesson. And also, if you want to be trained, okay, we are going to be doing a training. All right, we're having ongoing training programs on this software. So the link in the description, you can reach to us, okay, and join the training successfully. All right, so we make progress, and then I want to be having 2 counts of these braces at the top cord, okay, that connects this top cord of the trusses. All right, so I will come to these provisions. I'll double click right there and then click in 2 over here as well. I will also have 2 count here. All right, just like this. So this is what I will be having here as my braces, and this is fine for me. Okay, so I click on the OK options to get that placed successfully. You can see it just like this. All right, so after having that placed successfully, the next thing we have to do is to also brace these other trusses. Pick this first one and then pick this second one. All right, then we have to reset it again. Okay, count 1 is going to be 0 at the bottom cord 1 like this, and then the count bottom cord top cord 1 is going to be 2 count, top cord 2 as well, it's going to be 2 count just like this. After which, click on the OK options. All right, so if you check very well, you will notice that we are still having our offset here with the property of frame offset in the Y direction, so we can change that to 0. All right, and then come over to this other side change it to 0 as well. Okay, so that we wouldn't have any offset, because we don't want to have any offset right there. Okay, so you see end, you see I end apply to analysis, also uncheck that. Okay, because we have not having any offsets of the analytical line, no offset of the analytical line in this case. So click on the OK options to have your braces, truss braces inserted just the way they are. All right, come over here, we are going to be editing this one as well. Okay, so you get this selected. Before then, you have to deselect it from here. All right, before you can get this selected, just like this. All right, you can be able to select all at once and then effect the changes. So you can click on each property just like this, and then you uncheck this analysis. Okay, why is this showing us this red warning sign? Is because we have to remove this. We have to remove this. If you remove that, you can see the red warning sign has been removed successfully. Click on the OK options. Okay, so we get this other one selected. This one, let's hold the control key so we can select multiple of that and make that changes successfully, just like this. Okay, after which right click and then we check the property. You will notice that there is no option for property because we select it multiple. All right, so that means we are going to be doing it one by one. So you get that selected, click on each property, and then here we have that there is no offset here in this one. Click on the OK options. That is fine. We are just going to check that out to make sure we are doing the right modeling. There is no offsets in the Y direction in this particular one as well. So let's check this to confirm that finally. Okay, so there is no offset here, so everything is good. All right, so after which I can click here to zoom extent. All right, so at this time we have placed the braces successfully. The next thing we are going to be placing is the curve steel sections, curve steel beams, okay, that connect on top of these stanchions, and then this other one, okay, at level 3 right there. So for us to be placing that, we will be considering these options that we have it as frame. Click on that frame. So once you click on the frame, we have to inch, okay, we have to inch both end of the curve beam, okay, to the primary beams. Okay, so we check here, check these provisions, and these provisions, this is inching. All right, so after which we'll come to sections management, and then we will navigate to IP sections just like this. We'll be using IP sections 180. All right, click on the select options. All right, after which you click on the OK options. We will be using the insertion method to be this one. This is the curve insertion method. This one is the curve insertion method. So once you get that selected, you just have to come over here. The angle of rotations is going to be 90 degrees, and then we will having an apex distance to be 130. This apex distance can be edited later. All right, so if you come to the 3D sections, in these 3 sections you can see the analytical offset. All right, so if you want to offset the analytical line, you can use these provisions. For the sake of this lesson, we are not going to do that. And then if you come over here, you have a support here. If maybe you want the beam to have a support, you can actually select your support here. In the last lesson, we were able to create a support, pin support, and then a default fixed support for the foundations. All right, but for this we wouldn't have any support, so we want to place it right away. So what you just need to do, head your hand over the head of over the end of this stanchion and click once. So once you click once, okay, you have to direct your hand to where you want to fix it. So if you notice that at first you have some errors just like this, if you have an error like this, don't worry, there is nothing wrong with the program. Okay, it's just that the program is being busy, and then it is trying to reconnect to the command that you have just inputted. Okay, so what you do if you have something like this, you just have to click on the continue options, come to the display or the view sections, and then go to plan view. Click on this plan view, and then it will take you here. Then you close this window right away. Okay, after which navigate to the 3D again so that we can start the instructions again just like this. So we are back here. All right, so what we need to go back to the modeling tab again, click on the frame, but then you have to save the project. That is one of the reasons you have that error, because I've been working all this while without saving the project, so the program is too busy to communicate with the command that I have inputted. All right, so I'll click on save options to make sure this project is being saved first. So make sure you save the project so that the program will not be too busy to give you that error that we just saw. All right, click on this frame and then come over here. Make sure you have all of these provisions check, tick these provisions, and then you can navigate to the sections property, IPs 180. All right, click on this, select options, and then come over here, give it okay options first, give it an angle of 90 degree. All right, for the apex distance 130, just like this. So after the settings is being done, head your hand over the top of these stanchions, the top of this stanchion. Make sure you are on the top of this stanchion. Click once and direct your hand towards these provisions, and then click to have your curve beam, just like this. You can see. But if you zoom closely now, you'll notice that this curve beam, this beam has not seated rightly on top of the, the vertical stanchion. So for you to make it sit right there, what you need to come to these provisions, you can keep adjusting this. Let's say 1000. If you just keep in 1000 right here now, 1000 millimeter, click on the update, you can see it has sit right there. So this is what I actually expected. All right, so this is what we are having. Okay, so we continue to place that successfully. So we connect that to this point and we placed it right there, and then we also place this here. All right, just like this. Okay, we place this as well, and then we place this as well. We also place this just like this. Okay, after which you click on the close options to close this dialog. All right, please give the lesson a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to this channel for freezing. If you want to enroll or join our training program, you can check the link in the description of this video to join us. All right, so we make progress, after which the next thing we are going to be doing, we are going to be providing the gates. Okay, so for us to do that effectively, we are going to be be using this gate options. So you click on this. So once you click on this gate options right there, okay, once you click on these gate options, you can now be able to insert your gate. But at first, I would like us to have a beams that will connect this point, this column, and this column. So for us to do that effectively, you just have to you deselect the gates that you have already selected. Okay, so at the level we are, okay, this is level story 2. Okay, so you just select this one. We'll be using this property, the property of this beam. Right click and then click on the property. You can't immediately pick this first point. Okay, and then all the way to this point, you pick that to actually get the beams inserted just like this. Okay, just like this. So if you want to change the sections of these beams, you can come to these provisions, come to IP, it's still 180, okay, that we are using. So you click on the select options and OK options, after which you continue to place it here just like this at this level. All right, so come over here, we'll be having the same thing over here. So you have a beam just like this at that level. So we will be moving the grid lines to the level story 3. So double click right there at story 3. You have this. So select this. We'll be using that property as well. At this point, you can pick this point right there, connect it here, and then this place just like this. Okay, come over to this other side, and then you do the same thing. This point and here, just like this. All right, so after having done this, we can now start to place our gates. If you notice very well, we have inched the beam at both ends. You can see it here. We have inched it at both ends. Click on the OK and closed options, just like this. Okay, now for the gates, we will be placing it successfully. So we will use the gate options right there, and then pick this first one and the second one, and you wait for the program to respond. So here is the gate just like this. Okay, so I will cancel this and I will do that again. I want to be extending it from this point to this point because this provision is an entrance. So I'll pick this and this, sorry, this one and this one. Okay, so for the gates property, you can see it here, the profile. You can make changes, this spacing, you can also make changes over here. All right, so for me, I'm okay by this. For the sake of this lesson, click on the OK options. All right, so we make progress. We also be placing gate between this column and this one. So just get that selected, click on the OK options to have it just like this. Okay, so for this and this, we are going to be having this place to be our entrance. Okay, this is one of the entrance into this warehouse. So we place a gate from this point to this point. I'll show you how to adjust that, and then come straight away to where you have some offset here. You can see bottom member offset is 200. So this place now you change it to 3200, just like this. So click on the these provisions to have it shifted. You can see it's been shifted to this extent. Click on the OK option, so you can have this place open, okay, for the entrance door. All right, so over here we'll also be having these small provisions as an entrance, so we'll be placing a gate here as well. So pick these columns right there and then pick this one right there. So you have this with that offset that you have imputed. So we at this time going to remove the offset, change it to 200. Okay, get it like this, just 200 right there. Click on the OK options to have it just like this. So for this provision now, select this, select the gate, okay, and then pick this column and then this one. Go back to the modeling tab, it's been deselected, get it selected just like this, pick this column and this one. Having this, come to these provisions where you have bottom member offset and then change it to 2000, 3200. Click on the OK options to have this. Okay, this is also an entrance, so we will having another entrance from this back, this provision. So just get this here, click on the OK option. So we have this place as also entrance from the back, okay, or exit, sorry, from the back. Okay, exit from the back. So this particular provisions we are going to be closing it up, but we will be having an opening here in order for the people around this area to be able to access this place. Okay, so we'll be having a kind of a link between this provisions and the main warehouse hall. Okay, so we are going to be placing the gates from this point to this point. All right, from this point to this point. So we just pick the first column, pick the last one to have it like this. At this point the offset is too high, so we have to change it to 200 just like this. All right, so we have something like this. Click on the OK options. Okay, so we have a gate just like this. All right, we're having another one here just like this. Over here we also have, all right, so we have a gate also in these provisions just like this. All right, so we are actually getting it done gradually. Okay, so the next thing we will be looking at, we are going to be having a gate that connects this and this. Click on the OK options to have it like that. Okay, this place will be an entrance, so we have a gate from this point to this point, and then we offset it upwards, okay, to be 3200. Click on the OK options to have it like this. Okay, so we are done with the gate. Okay, so for us to be able to actually get this place roof successfully, we need a kind of polines on this. So we'll be using a frame, this one, to add a poline on this. So you click on the frame right there. So we are going to be inching both ends. We'll be inching both ends of this frame. Okay, for the angle we'll be using a straight frame, insertion method straight frame. This one is not the curve insertions method anymore. You also have to come to this 3D provisions, and then you make sure you check here every of these places should be 0 just like this. Okay, so come to this place, you have to change the sections right now, where we go straight away to turbo D. Okay, the turbo D we use this one. Okay, click on the selections and then OK options. So we are going to be placing it right away. We'll be having one here just like this, you can see. So we have another one this point, we also have another one this point and this point just like this. Okay, so we continue to place that successfully. Sorry, this is wrong. Okay, we make changes to that. Okay, this one and this one. Yeah, so new frame is crossing each other, say no, place that successfully. We make changes to this other one later. Need that point, we need also this point just like that. This point, we also need this point. Okay, yeah, and yeah. All right, so we continue this point and yeah, this point and yeah. All right, so we have this just like this. Okay, for this one we just select that and then we have to delete that off. Okay, select any of this again, right click and then use its property to place this next one just like this. Okay, click on the close options. So we have done this successfully just like this, after which we have a kind of a coverage, a shade here. We have a shade here, so we'll be working on the shade. Is at a story 2, so double click on the story 2 right there. Okay, So we navigate to the plan view of story 2. Okay, just like this. Before we proceed, we'll save the project so that we won't encounter an error. After we get the project saved successfully, we will have to be using this property of the beam. So get the beam selected, right click, and then click on it property. Pick this point, we'll be having a cantilever beam. Okay, click on the no options. We are connecting this to this point, just like this. This is a cantilever beam. All right, deselect that, and then we have another cantilever beam right here. Okay, we also have another cantilever beam right here. All right, no options, no options. Place that successfully. Deselect this. We may not have need for this because we are going to be connecting this to this. Okay, so for us to proceed, we have to first of all, in this case we are not going to inch both sides, but if you see what we're having here, we are inching both sides, so we are only inching only one side. All right, so what we need to do is you click on close. We have to delete this particular middle one. Okay, we don't have need for that for now. For the inching, get this selected, right click, and then come to inching. You found inching here. You can see update beam end conditions here. So we are only concerned with this side. Okay, that is being anchorage applied to the selected beam, only this side. Okay, this side is like a free side. All right, it's a cantilever, so it's free. All right, so we come to this other side, right click, and then you come to the inch as well. Okay, we are inching only to the right hand side, so click on that and then apply to the selected beams successfully. So we are having a cantilever beam just like this. Okay, so we navigate to the 3D just like this. All right, so here is the model, and this is what we just model newly. Okay, we are going to be connecting a kind of a curved beam like this that will connect this point and this point successfully. Okay, so for us to do that, we will not necessarily make use of this property, but we will just click on these provisions, and then we'll be using the same sections of the beams, and then we click in this sections management, and then we navigate to the IPs. Okay, IP is this one. Okay, we'll be using this section 160. Click on this, select options, and then we click on the OK options. All right, so we are going to be inching both sides. So I have these provisions check very well. Okay, so I click on this curve instructions method. I will also use 90 degree. Yeah, all right, then I will consider it to be 1200 millimeters, the radius of the curve. So I pick this point first, come to all the way, pick this other point to place the curve just like this. All right, so this curve is not that or let's say the radius is not too deep. Right, so since the radius is not too deep, what I'm going to do, I have to increase this. I have to increase that from 1.2 to 1500 just like this. Click on the update to have it increased just like this. If you want to increase it more than that, you can make it 2000 millimeters radius. Okay, just like this. Click on the update to have it. I think this is nice now. Okay, so we are going to be supporting this with pin support. Pin support has to do with it resists both vertical and horizontal forces. Okay, and not movement. All right, pin support only resists vertical and horizontal forces and not movement. So we have to apply that to these beams at the end of these beams right here. So we just have to get this beam selected, right click, and then we just select the beam, right click, and then click on it property. So in the property dialog right here, what we just need to do, we come to the 3D tab and then come to the support at we are going to support it at I end. Okay, you can see options here, I and J end. Okay, so which end you want to apply the support? So we want to apply it to the I end, so you select this and then select pin support and then click on update. So if you click on update, you can see a pin support here. All right, see a pin support here. You click on the close options. All right, come over to this other side, select this, also the property of it, and then we go to 3D tab right there, I end as well. Click on the pin support, click on updates to have this. So we have actually supported this, okay, with the pin support, which resists the vertical and horizontal forces and not movement. It is only the pin, it's only the fixed support, the support at the foundations, okay, that resists both vertical forces, horizontal forces, and as well as movement. All right, so click on the update and then close options. So we are to be having a support pole that will be connecting this curve beam and then these provisions and these stanchions. Okay, so what we need to do is we come over to the frame again, and then in the frame provisions right here, we will actually have to inch both sides of the pole. So we come to the section manager right there, and then we go to turbo D right there, and then we navigate to these sections we've used. Okay, 101.6 by 5 mm thickness of the steel hollow sections, circular hollow sections. Select that and OK options. So we place that point, pick that point, and then you can take it to this point and then place it there. You know, we are having a curve, another curve beam, because we have not changed the property. So we have to change the property to stretch over here. Okay, stretch instructions method, and then click on the update to have it straight just like this. So this is just what we expected. Another thing that we'll be doing, we have to be using this analytical offset to offset this downward. So we are offsetting it in the Z directions. Okay, so let's go in the Z directions, like let's go 50 first and see the extent. Okay, so we have to prefix it with minus, just like this update. You can see it goes down a little bit, so let's make it 100. Okay, not 100 will be fine. All right, so we have it to be 100, just like this update. So this is good. All right, that is in the J direction. So in the I end, okay, in the I end we also have that to be 100, just like this. Click on the update. Okay, this is too much, so let's make that to be 50. All right, update. Okay, 50 is not too good, let's make it 20. All right, update. Okay, this is fine now. All right, so after which the same thing will be applicable to the next one. We have another one here to connect this point. We have also another one here to also connect we have to connect this point. Let's connect it there. So we have something of this kind, so you can see it's just like this. Okay, all right, at this point now we have to save the project. So as each time you work to some extent, you make sure you save the project to avoid unnecessary errors. Okay, so the project is being saved now. Now we are done with the modeling, so we are going to be adding floors to this structure. So we navigate to the story 1. Okay, we'll be adding floors from story 1. Double click right there to move the grid lines to story 1, just like this, and then I will be enabling the plan view of the story 1. So here is the plan view of the story 1. And so for us to add floor successfully, we click on the slab right there. But in Protastructure 2022, if you do not enable loading combinations, there is no way you can enable this slab tab. Okay, so we go straight away to loading, and then we will click on these load cases and combinations. So in the load cases and combinations dialog, we click on the loading generator. All right, in this loading generator dialog, we may not necessarily use define pattern load automatically. Okay, we will have this on check, or you can as well leave it depending on how you intended to define a load. Okay, so if you want to actually define a horizontal load, you see these ones are vertical loading combinations, and then the factors are there. All right, you go to the horizontal load combinations tab. Okay, in the horizontal load combinations, you can be able to apply a wing load to these provisions. Okay, to have it checked. Okay, any load you intended applying to the structure, you have to check it right here. You can see seismic load here. All right, you have to check it to add that, but I already want to add that in this designs. Okay, you can see soil pressure here. All right, so all of that, but we have to consider wind load and as well as the vertical loads. Okay, just like this. After which, click on the OK option. If you need the temperature loadings, you can activate this so that you can also make provisions for those loadings successfully. Click on the OK options just right away, and then you have the loads generated just like this. You can see. After which, click on the OK options again to close this dialog. Now you can navigate to the modeling tab and then activate the slab. Alright, so you click on the slab right there. So give the program some seconds. Here is the slab dialog. Okay, so in this dialog provisions, we'll be having a solid slab thickness of 150 millimeters. Okay, 150 millimeters, just like this. The slab we are going to be using at this level is going to be mass concrete slab, and it's not a reinforced concrete slab. Okay, so we'll be having cover. You may not necessarily have a cover, but for you to be completed in the provisions of slab parameters, you have to add a cover, but we may not necessarily need this. Okay, so you go to the loading tab. So in the loading tab right here, we have an additional load up to kilonewton per square meters. Okay, for the imposed load, you can actually use an imposed load of machine load, anything that has to do with machines right there. You can use parking vehicles right there. You can see parking cars for light vans. You can use this for that purpose. Okay, because a machine will place on actually on the concrete. So it also depends on the concrete grade that we selected. We selected very strong concrete grade in the the first lesson, which is the part 1 of this lesson. So check the lesson so that you can get to understand that successfully. If you check very well, the roof load is not enabled, okay, the snow load is not also enabled, the rain load is not also enabled, because we did not enable it in the loading combination properties. That is why. So after which, you now start to insert our slab. We come to the general tab again. We have to insert the slab using the, what we use this thing to insert the slab. We will be considering the instruction options, pick axis instruction options. Okay, so here is the pick axis instruction options, because we want to be instructing the slab, you know, panel by panel. All right, so we use the pick axis to instruct it, so that we design it using a finite element analysis method. All right, so I selected pick axis. I want to pick this axis. All right, if you pick any axis you pick, it's coming up here. Okay, so I pick this one first, F, and then I pick 2. All right, I will pick I will pick D right there. All right, I will pick 5 right there, and then I will go back and pick F right there to have the slab placed just like this. You can see. All right, the same thing. I will have to, you know, cancel this one to be able to pick a new axis. Okay, so I'll pick D as first. I'll pick 2. I'll pick A. Pick axis 5. Pick D again to have the slab inserted just like this. Okay, now this time around we are going to be inserting another slabs, okay, so that we can be able to, you know, have a very nice work way around this structure. Okay, so for us to do that, we will click in these provisions. You right click right there. We are going to be using a slab option 12, this one. So click on that, come to this provisions. It's going to be a kind of cantilever slab right there. So for the length of the cantilever, we will be considering 1500, just like this. Okay, and then the cantilever will be carrying some loads, okay, human loads that walk around, okay, and other machines will be consider 6 kilonewton. All right, so we pick this point all the way to this point. We move our hand outward, clicked to have it there. Same thing here, like this. Okay, and then we have it just like this. Okay, so click on the close options. All right, at this time you have to just go to 3D and then see what you've done so far at 3D, so you have something of this kind at 3D. You know, so this structure now is set for analysis and design, but we need to set the project parameters, like the soil bearing capacities and, you know, the name of the project and the rest of that. Okay, they will carry out analysis and design of the structure successfully, which we are going to be doing that in the next lesson part 3. We will be doing that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, Surfacing, and stay tuned for more advanced lesson. If you have any question, feel free to drop it at the comment section. And if you want to join our training program, you can see a link in the description of this video. Just follow the information there to contact us, and then we will carry out the class thoroughly and successfully. So stay connected, and bye for now.